How you doing?
Good. So Joe often talks about how the game is connected. How much of keeping them to under 25 points in 3 quarters was about taking care of the ball compared to making them uncomfortable without fouling and limiting second chances?
Those are all keys to, we feel like we did those things well that we would win. Every single night we try to, get 2 25-point quarters. We do that. Our chances of winning really go through the roof. So we're always aware of those things. But, limit them in transition, keeping them off the free throw line, only give them one shot. We did that really well in the first half, third quarter, not so much. But, we picked it back up in the fourth, and we was able to run away with the game.
Jayson, when you're watching a 27-point lead kind of dwindle, the other team makes their run, you guys, whatever's going into that, can you explain the mentality of like trying to kind of take control of that back and how you go into the big response in the fourth quarter to take back control?
I think a couple of things go into play is just like, don't panic. We've been there before. And, I guess kind of having a fresh start in the fourth. The guys that started that fourth quarter did an incredible job of getting stops at the right moment, getting out in transition. JB got some layups. We knocked down some big shots. D. White did. Drew was doing his thing. It's just all about staying poised. We didn't get that lead in one play, and we're not going to get it back in one play. Just keep building on making the right plays, understanding that, no lead is necessarily safe, and they're a good team. They got good players. They're going to make shots and not get discouraged by those things, understand that what we need to take away, because they were getting out in transition. They got some easy looks, and then, they start making some tougher shots. So understanding that plays a part, and knowing what we want to take away.
Jayson, going into the season, the Knicks regarded as perhaps your chief competition in the East, and you've obviously handled them 3 times this year. Why do you think you've had the success against them? And did you think about that coming into the year, and has that been kind of intentional in the way that you've played against them these 3 games?
Coming into today, right, the only thing that mattered was this game, not, what we did the first 2 meetings. That goes out the window. The only thing that mattered was getting ready for this 1 o'clock game today and being locked in and prepared. We playing one more time coming, before the season ends. And, whatever we did the first 3 games doesn't matter. So just having that mindset of only thing that matters is the game today. The rest will take care of itself.
Yesterday at practice, Derek was saying that he kind of lost his joy a little bit earlier in the season and has been able to regain that. And Joe was just saying that as expectations rise, that's just kind of what happens, and you kind of have to figure that out. Have you experienced that in your career as well, where as expectations have risen, whether in the NBA or before, you kind of have to fight harder for that joy? And with Derek, how important is it that he's kind of able to refine that for you guys?
Yeah, it's super important. And, remember that stretch, and everybody felt for him. One, because he's such a great person and obviously a great player and what he means to our team. And, see firsthand how hard guys work and how bad they want things to go the right way. And it's not always the case. 82 games, you might go through a slump where you're not shooting the ball well or things aren't clicking the way that you would like or hope. But it's part of being a great player, part of being professional, and being consistent with the work that you put in and trusting and believing it's going to turn around. Because it's not always perfect, and you wish it would be. But that's our job as teammates, is to keep him encouraged, keep his confidence high, because we need him. Got to remind him every day. Not that he doesn't know that. He knows how important he is to our team. But, me and D. White super close, and, I tell him every day to be aggressive. We're always in communication during the game, just talking through things. obviously wouldn't be who we are without D. White. So him finding his joy is super important to our success.
Jayson, when you guys were at the Olympics this summer, like the Knicks were re-signing OG Anunoby, they were trading for Mikal Bridges, and teams are making moves. Cleveland brings in Hunter to guard Jayson and Jalen, to guard like that's kind of what's the coherent theme. When you hear that, when you hear teams gearing up to guard you, guard Jalen, to play you guys, does that motivate you? Like when the Knicks are gearing up to play you, and does that motivate you to play? I'll say harder, but just like, okay, you want some, you're gonna get some.
I mean, it's just the responsibility you have when you win a championship. When the Warriors was going on their run, teams were building their team to compete with them. When Denver won the championship, Minnesota built that team to kind of beat Denver. So there's a responsibility that comes with, when you're the champs and you're the standard, guys or teams try to build their team to compete with that style of play or whatever it may be. But the most important challenge that we have is, we just focus on us. It's no guarantee who we're going to play in the playoffs. But we'll be up for the challenge, whoever we play. But our biggest motivation is just, with ourselves and being the best version of us, and just trying to get a little bit better every day.